So we're going to focus on doing a bit more of a spring practice, so bringing loads of energy into it. We're getting a lot more lighter days, so we're going to focus on side bending, a little bit more twisting. So yeah, so we're just going to jump in and get started. So come into a nice comfortable seated positions, whatever that is for you. It might be cross-legged, it might not, but yeah, I really invite you to play around with getting a comfortable position. As long as your spine is nice and straight, that's kind of the most important thing here. So we're going to start with square breath. So if you have been following my page, I've got a more in-depth video on this a couple weeks back, so you can have a little practice of that in your own time as well, but we're just going to start it with practice today because it's just a really nice one to get centred, kind of bring yourself back into your centre, ground you a bit more, help to relax you, so it's a really good one to do before sleep. So getting into your comfortable position. If you want to pop a block underneath your hips, that can really help to tilt the pelvis, help you get that nice long spine. So we're just going to start with taking an inhale through the nose and exhaling it out through the mouth. We're going to do it twice more just like that before starting the square breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose one last time. Sign it out through the mouth. So we're going to start, we're going to inhale. So we're going to inhale for 4. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold the breath in for 2, 3, 4. We're going to exhale for 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath out for 2, 3, 4. So just releasing that just now, I just want to talk a little bit about it. So if the retentions feel a little bit too constrained, if you're pregnant or have any health problems, or you're just not comfortable with it, don't hold the breath, just inhale and exhale for 4 counts. If as well you want to take it a bit further, you can extend the count and you can shorten it, so you don't necessarily need to follow along with the count that I'm doing, because I know that everyone has different length and pace of breath depending on your anatomy, your body, your physiology. So we're going to come in and we're going to do a couple of rounds just together. So inhaling, closing the eyes, exhaling. So again, we're going to inhale for 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath for 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath out for 2, 3, 4. Inhaling again, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath for 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath for 2, 3, 4. Last time, inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath out for 2, 3, 4. Just releasing the breath, still with the eyes closed, just coming back to your normal length and pace of breath. Noticing if your heart rate's a little bit slower, if your mind's a little bit calmer. And even the breath, if that's changed at all, is it a little bit longer, a little bit smoother in the body. So the breath's amazing. It really is the foundation of yoga, which is why I wanted to start with it for practice today. It's really important. It can do amazing things for your body and your mind, so I do invite you to maybe try focusing a little bit more on the breathing, not just in practice but throughout your life as well. And then just whenever you're ready, just opening the eyes, just gently. I'm going to start with a couple head rolls, so just dipping the chin in towards the chest. I'm going to inhale, taking the ear over the left shoulder, coming all the way back. And as you exhale, bringing the right ear to right shoulder, coming down the other side. Inhaling, over that left shoulder, all the way back. Exhaling, come down the other side. Inhaling, taking the left ear over that left shoulder, extending it back. Exhaling to come all the way down. And this time we get chin to chest, we're going to go the opposite direction. So this time inhaling, taking the ear over that right shoulder, coming all the way back. Exhaling, coming all the way down. So just taking your time and really focusing on the movement, all the little creaks in the neck. It's one that's really good for us to do just now, especially if we're hunched up and not really moving the neck as much as what we should be. If we're hunched over those mobile phones, it's normally where a lot of our neck tension comes from. Just bringing chin to chest, we're going to come all the way back up to centre, rolling the shoulders up and back, rolling the shoulders up and back. The last time, rolling them up and back, and then just shaking out. Perfect. So we're going to take the right hand down to the floor, we're just going to extend away, we're going to lift the left arm all the way up. So you can take the gaze up towards the fingertips or down towards the placed palm, or just have the neck nice and free and relaxed. Whichever is most comfortable for you. So really trying to ground down through that left sit bone. So you don't want to lift up, because you really want to ground down and it'll help you extend up, really stretch through this side body. Switching sides, this time coming up, taking the left fingertips down towards the floor. If you've got the length and the reach and the flexibility, you can take the elbow down. If not, just taking it wherever is comfortable. Extending up through the right arm. And again, thinking about rooting down through that right sit bone, really lengthening up through this side body. And taking the gaze wherever feels comfortable for you. Perfect. One more time either side, taking it down towards the right, sorry. Extending over. And back to centre, taking it down towards the left. Perfect. So from here we're going to take the left hand, taking it onto the right thigh, taking the right fingertips behind you. You're going to sit up nice and tall, exhaling to turn to face the back of the room, looking over that right shoulder. Really focusing on lengthening the body and then twisting. Helping to wake up those spring organs, it's really good for digestion. And kind of keeping everything ticking over. Coming back centre, switching sides, taking the right hand to the outer left thigh and the left fingertips behind you. So sitting up nice and tall and then taking an inhale, sitting up nice and tall, exhaling, turning to face the back of the room. And again, making sure those sit bones are nice and grounded down. Don't want to be lifting up here, lifting up through the torso, not necessarily the sit bones. Perfect, and then releasing. So from here we're going to come on to hands and knees. We're going to do a pose called thread the needle. So we're going to extend the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the palm, and then we're going to post it beneath that gap created with your left thigh and your left arm, taking it under, inhaling, extending it all the way up to the sky, exhaling, posting it through, inhaling, taking it up to the sky, exhale, posting it through. We're going to do it one more time, come into rest, inhaling, up towards the sky. This time when we post it through, we're going to rest our right ear down towards the ground and rest onto that shoulder. So taking a few breaths here, it might feel a little bit odd at first, but it's really good for working into the shoulders. If you want, you can reach that left foot all the way back, coming up onto the toes of the left foot, coming into a little calf stretch here. If that's confusing or there's enough going on, just bringing the knee back down, so whatever feels most comfortable for you. This is your practice, so doing what's right for you. If the knee's extended, bringing it back towards the mat, inhaling, lifting that right arm all the way up towards the sky, and then replacing it down underneath the right shoulder. So we're going to do the exact same on the opposite side, so this time lengthening up through the left hand, gazing up towards the fingertips. Exhale, posting it through that little gap. Inhale, taking it up towards the sky. Exhale, posting it through. Last time, inhaling. Exhaling, posting it through. And this time we're going to come through to rest, so inhaling. Going all the way up towards the sky. And exhaling to post it through. So you're resting down onto that shoulder and the left ear this time. So stay in here if you want, or you can extend back through the right leg this time. So coming up onto the toes of the right foot, pushing into the right toes to kind of give yourself a little bit of a calf stretch and working into the bones of the feet there. And if your foot's extended, we're going to bring it down towards the mat. Inhaling, I'm going to reach that left hand all the way up towards the sky and then replacing it down beneath the left shoulder. Perfect, we're going to do a little bit of cat-cow here because it just feels really good. I'm a big fan, have to say. Inhaling, we're going to take the tummy down towards the ground, looking straight ahead. And then we're going to start the tailbone arch in the back, really rolling in. So if you have any sort of back problems, just being really mindful when you're moving through here. Being sure to try and match your inhales and your exhales to the movement. And keeping the joints nice and soft, elbows nice and soft. This is a really nice one to do in the morning when you first get up, kind of working through any stiffness in the back. Now we're just going to come back to neutral spine whenever you're ready. So from here we're going to take the left foot back, we're going to plant it on the ground, we're going to come up into supported side plank, extending the left hand all the way up towards the sky. Taking a few breaths here, so you've got the option to stay here or come into full posture. So you might want to reach the fingertips forward a little bit for full posture, and then sliding that right foot down to meet the left, so you can stack the feet, or if you want a little bit more balance you can stagger them. Reaching up towards the ceiling, taking the gaze up to that hand if that feels good. Holding for another few breaths. Perfect. Coming back down to hands and knees. So dropping the knees down, we're going to do the same on the other side. So planting the left hand down. So in this pose it's really important your foundation, especially if you're coming up into full posture. When you think about it, the only areas of your body that are supporting you on the ground are your hand and the knife edge of your foot. So making sure that left hand is nice and spread wide. We're going to take the right foot all the way back. So keeping on the knee first, we're going to come into supported side plank. Extending the right hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Finding your balance here, and then if you want to come into full posture, sliding the left leg back. Taking either option of supported if that feels better for you today, or you can stagger the feet or stack the feet if you want a little bit of a more challenging posture. Holding for another couple breaths. Perfect, then releasing it down. Dropping the knees, we're going to take the knees nice and wide, sending the hips all the way back and into child's pose. Good job everybody, it's a challenging posture. Really reaching forward with those fingertips. And taking a few breaths here. So when you're ready, taking the gaze towards the hands, we're going to come forward, tucking the toes under. And we're going to push into the hands, not coming all the way up to downward dog just yet. We're just going to lift the knees, again really working into the back of the feet, really extending it out. And then when you're ready, we're going to extend those legs, straighten the legs, sending the sit bones up towards the ceiling. And bowing the head down. So if you're feeling a little bit stiff, just pedaling through the feet, so coming up onto the toes of one foot, sending the heel of the opposite one down towards the ground. Keeping it nice and soft. This is our first downward dog of today's practice. So again, thinking about your foundations, really spreading the fingertips nice and wide. Pushing the heels down towards the ground. They might not reach down towards the ground, that's totally okay. But trying not to take all the weight into your toes, so a good way to test for this is to lift your toes off the ground, balance on the ball of the foot, and then spread the toes and flatten them back down again. Perfect. So from here we're going to bend the knees, we're going to look towards the hands, and we're just going to step in to meet the hands. Perfect. So from here, just taking the crooks of the elbows, just swaying side to side. You can take the feet hip width apart if that feels comfortable. Generally it gives you a little bit more freedom to sway and just see what's going on in the body. So from here we're going to interlace the hands, we're just going to take them behind the head. So we're not tugging here, all we're doing is we're just kind of encouraging the head and the neck to relax. So just bringing the weight forward into the ball of your foot a little bit. So this isn't about bringing your head down to meet your toes or anything like that, it's just about releasing any tension in the neck. And then releasing the arms down, letting them drag a little bit, bending the knees, rolling all the way up. Taking your time getting here, we're going to roll the shoulders up and back. Perfect. So we're going to come into Sun Salutation B. So this is a really nice one to do for spring. So we're going to take the hips nice and low. So we're going to come like we're sitting on a chair. Sending the hips all the way back. Maybe tickling the floor if you can reach. Extending the arms all the way up so the arms can be shoulder width apart, or you can bring them together if that feels comfortable. Taking a breath here, and then we're going to fold forward, so straightening those legs, bringing the fingertips or the palms of the hands down towards the floor. Bending the knees if you can't reach. Inhaling, coming up onto the fingertips, so you can take fingertips to floor or to shin. Coming up onto the fingertips, bending the knees really deeply, we're going to plant the hands firmly, so making sure they're nice and spread. Stepping back with one foot, followed by the second foot. Going to lower halfway down, so dropping the knees if you've not got the weight bearing capacity. So lowering halfway down, keeping those elbows nice and tucked in. Turning over the feet, inhaling upward facing dog. Tucking the toes under, exhaling to downward facing dog. So we're going to send the right foot all the way up towards the sky. And then we're going to hug it in towards the chest, and we're going to step it between the hands. So this movement here, rounding the back, stepping the foot forward really helps if you struggle to step forward in one motion. So it's good to kind of play about with that. And if you need to take a few little steps, that's totally okay as well. So once your foot's firmly planted, we're going to ground through that back heel so it's flattened on the floor. Inhaling, taking the hands all the way up, warrior one. So again, you can either have the hands shoulder width apart if you're feeling a little bit tight here, or you can bring the palms together, looking up towards thumbs if that feels comfortable for you. And when you're ready, turning onto the heel, lifting the heel off the floor, and then we're going to take the hands, framing that front foot, stepping it back, lowering halfway down, lifting or lowering the knees if you need to. Hugging it in, inhaling, upward facing dog, turning over the feet, downward facing dog. Perfect, same thing on the opposite side, so this time we're taking the left leg all the way up towards the sky. Hugging it in towards the nose, trying to round the upper back a little bit, stepping it through, taking your time getting here, taking a little rock backwards and forwards if that feels good. And then we're going to ground down through that back heel, so your heel's grounded down, your foot's kind of pointing out at a little angle here. And once you're ready, we're going to inhale, taking the arms all the way up. Again, taking the choice of hands separated or palms of the hands together. Taking a few breaths here, watching out for any funkiness going on with that knee. You want it over the ankle and not collapsing in towards the body. Taking the hands, framing that front foot, stepping it back, lowering halfway down, inhaling to upward facing dog, turning over the feet, exhale, downward facing dog. So this time we're going to have a little bit more of a static downward dog, pushing the heels down towards the ground, seeing how that feels. If you're rounding the back and a lot of your weight is coming forward like this, I invite you to bend the knees so that you can kind of get more of this straight back going on. So this helps to protect the upper back and from basically taking any of the strain. So again, if you're over here, think about bending the knees. That'll help to take the stress out. And then from here you can eventually think about straightening one foot, the second foot. Bend in the knees, taking the gaze towards the hands. We're going to step in with one foot, followed by the second foot. Inhaling, coming up onto those fingertips. Exhaling to fold in, bend in the knees if you need to. And then we're going to definitely bend the knees really deep, sinking it down into that imaginary chair, extending the arms all the way up. So we're going to hold here for a few breaths, so bringing the hands to heart centre. Feeling that fire come into the thighs here. And think about taking the weight a little bit back this time, so kind of more towards back into the heels. Ooh, feeling the burn, holding it for another breath. And then slowly lengthening, straighten the legs, coming all the way up, giving it a little shake out. So again, staying at the top of your mat, we're going to extend the arms all the way up. I'm kind of out of shot here, but we're going to inhale, taking the right wrist with the left hand. We're going to send the hips over towards the right, extending the arms over towards the left, coming into this little banana shape here. Inhaling, coming back to centre, exhaling, switching sides, so taking the left wrist with the right hand, sending over towards the left, hips towards the left, wrist towards the right. Really extending and coming at this little banana shape. Inhaling, releasing the hands, exhaling, dropping them down. So from here, we're going to come all the way to seated, so inhaling, taking the hands all the way up towards the ceiling, coming through at half sun salutation. Exhaling, curling the lower abdomen in. This helps to protect the back. Taking the fingertips towards the floor of the shins. Inhaling, coming halfway, lifting up. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back. Lowering halfway down. Turning over the feet, inhaling, upward facing dog. Turning over the feet, downward facing dog. Perfect. So from here, we're just going to step in with one foot, followed by the second foot. Extending the legs out in front of you, we're going to come into staff pose. So making sure that your sit bones are grounded on the floor. So if you've got this sort of situation going on, and we're going to reach forward and it's not happening, you might want to sit on a block just to give you that extra bit of height. So you want to think about kind of pushing the bum out, really tilting the pelvis to help get you that lift. Alright, so sitting on a block or a book or a cushion if that's what you need to do right now to make the posture a bit more comfortable. So from here, we're going to take the hands, pressing them into the floor. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift the heels. So sitting up nice and tall, lifting the heels, and what you'll see is happening. As soon as you lift those heels, everything activates on the legs. So pushing into the floor, as if you were going to levitate, you're going to push the hands into the floor, imagining that you're lifting all the way up, really activating the arms, keeping those toes active, and then releasing the heels down towards the ground, giving the legs a little shimmy, a little shake. We're going to bring the left leg all the way in, coming into our seated tree posture. So bringing the base of the left foot in towards the right thigh there. Inhaling, sitting up nice and tall, so you want to make sure you're reaching towards that extended leg, you're not going out this direction. So inhaling, taking the arms nice and high. Exhaling again, hugging in that lower tummy, kind of helps to activate the core, protect the back. Folding in, so if you can't quite reach the toes or the foot, the ankle's fine, you could use a strap, you could use a bit of string. Breathe in here, so taking the gaze towards those toes and keeping the toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhaling to look up, exhaling to release. So we're going to take the right hand on the outer edge of that left thigh, taking the left fingertips behind you. Sitting up nice and tall, exhaling. Turning to face the back of the room. So again, trying to make sure that you don't change the integrity of the posture of the legs, so you're keeping everything grounded down. And using the torso to twist. Looking over that left shoulder. So the hand that's on the left thigh, we're going to extend it down that straightened leg. So we're taking the left hand all the way down that straightened leg. We're going to lift up with the left arm, extending it over. So the right hand is on that right leg. Breathing deeply. So again, we're working into this nice side body. It should feel really nice. And then releasing, we're going to take the left hand, taking it all the way behind you, planting it into the ground, pointing the toes. Inhaling to come all the way up. We're going to take the arm all the way over, the right arm's coming over, creating this nice arch, which should feel really good and really free in the body. Exhaling to release it all the way down. Perfect. So giving that left knee a little hug in. Going to send it down to meet the right. We're going to do the exact same on the opposite side. So bringing the right knee in and taking the base of the right foot in towards that left thigh. Taking an inhale, sitting up nice and tall, again making sure that your torso is facing that front extended leg. Inhaling, exhaling, again bringing in the lower abdomen to help switch on the core. Reaching down towards that leg. If you don't reach the toes, it's okay, you can use whatever part of the body you can reach, whether it's the calf or the shin, a bit of string, or you can take the fingertips on either side. This is really good if you're losing your balance. And just folding and gazing towards the toes. So also if your bent in knee is a little bit higher, you might want to stick a cushion underneath just to kind of help protect the knee there. Releasing the foot, coming all the way up. So we're taking the left hand this time on the outer edge of the right thigh. Inhaling, sit up nice and tall. Exhaling, taking those right fingertips behind us on the floor. Extending and then twisting. With every inhale, sitting up a little bit taller. With every exhale, seeing if you can see a little bit more of the back room. Again, making sure that those sit bones are behaving themselves, they're not lifting up. So that left hand that's on the right thigh, we're going to extend it down the left leg. So it doesn't matter where it gets to on the leg here, sometimes it's nice to keep this arm nice and relaxed. We're going to extend up with the right, as if we were going to reach over and touch the toes, but we're not going to reach over and touch the toes, we're just going to reach up diagonally towards the room. Taking the gaze up towards those fingertips. Again, working into that side body here. One more breath. Releasing the arm. Taking the right hand behind us. So planting the hand nice and spread, pressing into all your little finger pads. Pointing the toes of the left foot, we're going to come up onto the right shin. Extending all the way up and away, so trying to flatten that left foot. And then when you're ready, lowering all the way back down to your mat. Giving the right knee a little hug in. Sending it down to meet the other and giving them a little shimmy, a little shake. Releasing any tension. And then we're going to come all the way down to lying on our back. We're just going to finish with a nice easy twist. So extending the left leg nice and long. We're going to hug in the right knee. So with every inhale and then every exhale, seeing if you can hug in a little bit deeper. Really giving yourself a little bit of TLC, a little bit of hug and love. And then we're going to cross that right knee over the body and we're going to extend the right arm all the way out. So you want to think about taking your gaze across towards the right arm while your knees and your legs are pointing in a different direction towards the left. So it doesn't matter if your knee comes onto the floor or not. What I want you to focus on is keeping the shoulders on the floor. So you can take the left hand to that outer thigh, kind of help to encourage it down. Or you can flatten the arm on the floor and really extending out. If you've got room, I really invite you to spread the arms nice and wide. If you've not, just using what you can with the space you've got available. And hugging in that right knee. And then we're going to send it down to meet the left. And we're going to bring the left knee all the way in. Inhaling here, exhaling to give it a little hug, a little bit closer towards that left shoulder. Breathing here. And then we're going to cross that left leg all the way over the right body. So again, it doesn't matter if the knee comes towards the floor or not. Taking the gaze towards the left, extending out the left arm. So you want the arm to be kind of shoulder height. If you've got the room, extending the fingers all the way out. You can take the hand onto that top knee, or you can extend the arm of the right arm out. Wherever you are, breathing deeply when you're in a twist. It can feel like the breath's a little bit more restricted, which is why we need to bring a little bit more attention, a little bit more focus towards it. Perfect. And then we're going to bring that left knee all the way in, giving it a hug in. And then bringing the right knee in, hugging both knees in towards each other, towards the body. One final inhale, and then as you exhale, just releasing it all down. Coming into Shavasana, rest pose, taking the feet out towards either corner of your mat, taking the hands up, palms facing the ceiling in a gesture of receiving and breathing deeply here. So trying to make the exhales a little bit longer than the inhales. And taking a quick scan through the body. Seeing how each bone, each muscle, each part of you feels. So you can stay here for as long as you like. We are at 30 minutes now, so wiggling the fingers and the toes if you're ready to come out, or if you've got a little bit more time, I invite you to stay and focus on the breath. Extending up, coming into a morning stretch if you need to get on with your day. So lengthening out the body, taking the hands nice and high, lengthening out. Bringing the knees in towards the chest. And then we're going to roll on to the left side. Very gently. Taking a breath here, and then when you're ready, using that top arm to push you back up to that easy seated position that we started with at class. So taking the hands all the way up, looking up towards the fingertips, bringing them down between the eyebrows and the third eye, seat of wisdom, towards the heart, the seat of love, and then bowing it down towards the earth, which gives us sustenance and life, and showing a little bit of gratitude towards yourself and towards others, and rolling all the way up. Thank you so much for joining me today for practice. I hope you really enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. It's great to keep practicing with you, and I hope